Hi, I'm Cory Weatherton. I'm Director of Product Development for Entegra Coach, and I'm excited to show you today the new 2024 Entegra Coach Launch. Now, we've been building this for over a year now on this incredible Mercedes chassis. There are some changes for model year 24 that I want to highlight for you. First of all, this incredible 4x4 chassis has become even better. Mercedes has switched this to an all-wheel drive chassis. It is a new 9-speed transmission. You have 208 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. So with Mercedes going to this all-wheel drive platform, it has become even better. I can tell you about a year and a half ago, I went down to South Carolina, went to a Mercedes ride and drive event. First, they had the traditional four-wheel drive setup, last model year's chassis. We went over some moguls, up some hills, over some bumps. And I can tell you, I thought that the four-wheel drive functioned very well. You know, when you get onto a mogul, you get a couple tires off the ground. You have to switch it into 4 high. Maybe you want to go into 4 low. At that point, you have to go down into neutral, back into 4 low at that point. So it's a little bit of a sequence, a system there. And then after that, we got in this new all-wheel drive chassis. And I can tell you, I was extremely impressed. Going into it, when I thought of all-wheel drive, I honestly thought of a mini SUV, you know, maybe even a car. Like, what is an all-wheel drive really going to get me? But I was thoroughly impressed at how intuitive this was. I didn't have to worry about shifting into 4 high, 4 low, neutral, park, etc. It automatically did it for me. And so I can tell you, as a customer, you should be extremely impressed when you drive this chassis. As I mentioned, 9-speed transmission. They did change it to a 4-cylinder instead of a 6-cylinder, but with that, you are getting more horsepower and torque as well. So Mercedes has done a great thing on this chassis. Now, this will have a lot of the safety features that you've come to expect. Your 360 camera, your active braking, your blind spot assist, a lot of safety features for you. So you're going to feel like you're driving your everyday ride with this chassis. It is going to be incredible for you. We have continued on this chassis to do some of our upgrades. We do have our Easy Drive package on this. I would encourage you to check out our website if you want more information on that. Also new for this model year, Mercedes does not allow us as an OE manufacturer to install high idle auto engine start on this. Now, we have prepped this chassis this year in case you as the customer want to. What that means is we've run a wire from our interior multiplex system to under the dash area so that if you do desire to add that as a customer, very seamless. We've done all the work of running the wire to the multiplex system. The multiplex system will monitor your house voltage on your battery and then cause the trigger to that auto engine start high idle kit. Now, as we're talking about batteries, I do want to point out that our Launch is a complete lithium package. There is no generator on this. This is an incredible 48-volt system, 210 amp hours. And so what does that mean to you as a customer? I want to put it in layman's terms because a lot of our competitors are going to list that the amp hours of their batteries, which amp hours are important, but it's only part of the equation. To figure out in layman's terms, how much fuel does this lithium system have? I need to take my voltage times my amps, my volts times my amps or amp hours, and that'll get me watt hours. So this is a 48-volt system, 210 amp hour battery. How many usable watt hours do I have? I have over 10,000 watt hours in this lithium system. That's absolutely incredible because I can tell you our competitors who are advertising maybe a 400 amp hour system or a 600 amp hour system, they are using a 12-volt battery. So amp hours looks greater than hours, but it's a 12-volt. And remember that equation, 12 times 400, that only gives you 4,800 watt hours, whereas this is over 10,000. You can do the same with 12 times 600. This is 10,000, so a massive system. It's absolutely incredible. Going down the road, I can charge this battery, our house battery, with an alternator that's been installed on this chassis. It's a 48-volt alternator. I can also charge it through 30 amp shore power, 20 amps, 15 amps, even 10 amps if you can find that 10 amp circuit to be able to charge and plug into. So an incredible system, larger than anything in the mainstream market today. We have had so much success with this unit. As I said, we introduced about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, and I can tell you that coming into this model year, we've not made a lot of changes, simply because it has done so well for us. This is our Forest Glade paint package. This is an option. This is a partial paint. So from Mercedes, we get this chassis in this tan sand color, and then we give you a matte partial paint. It looks absolutely incredible. Really one of the things that sets us apart from our competition. As I said, that is an option for you. I want to walk around the outside very briefly and show you some of the things on the inside that we've changed for this model year. First of all, as we come around, you are going to see the armless, legless awning up there. It does have full LED light to be able to light up your campsite. Cool thing about that awning is it does have a wind sensor or motion sensor on it, to where if a gust of wind comes along and shakes that awning, it will go back in. I would encourage you as the customer, however, if you are using this at your campsite, make sure if you're going out kayaking or if you're going to go for a run and take the dog with you, make sure you put the awning in. Honestly, it's a fail-safe, but at the same time, you get a couple strong gusts of wind coming through, or maybe a massive one, there is potential to damage that awning. So always use common sense with that. Put your awning in as you go away from camp, but at the same time, it is a wind-sensing awning. As you come back, you're going to see on the inside we do have ventilation from this window that we have installed. Also, you will see a complete bug screen here. Both of these will roll down, and then we have a magnetic attachment here on the edge that, as this is down, easy in and easy out. That way you don't have to unzip it every time. That has been great for us. On the outside as well, we do have this auxiliary table. Drop down. Nice thing about this table is if you are sitting on level ground, you can simply adjust this up or down to control the pitch of your table to keep your eggs or your sausage, who knows what, from rolling off of this table. On this unit as well, we recognize that you may want to make your coffee on the outside, so we do have a 120 volt outlet here. That's going to be very convenient for you to be able to hook that up, or even potentially charge cell phones out here, anything of that nature. Coming back a little farther, I'll close the door. We do have a 120 volt outlet back here. This is on a GFCI breaker, so that way complete safety there. You're outside there again, maybe you plug a radio in, you plug who knows what in, and we want safety first. Since this is outside in the wet elements, you are protected in that area. Coming around the back, I will show you, we do include a ladder. Most manufacturers do. I always point this out to dealerships if I'm there doing training, or to you as a customer. This ladder is not designed to be climbed on right now. As you can see, there's a twist knob right here. Somebody cannot steal this, just so you know. It's not fixed. You will take your key and you will unlock this, and then I can twist this off. This ladder will come off and then mount anywhere on the side of this coach on your passenger side. That way it's very convenient if you are putting kayaks up there, you're putting a car top traveler up there, you don't have to mount the roof from the rear. You can go on the side. On the roof as well, since you're not up there, I will tell you something brand new for this year that we're totally excited about is we've partnered with Starlink SpaceX satellite system. So your internet on this is blazing fast through Starlink. And nice thing about it is you can be in total remote areas. In the past, we've relied on our WineGuard 2.0, that Wi-Fi range extender, or 4G LTE hotspot. But you know cell service isn't predictable as you start to get into those remote places. So with Starlink now, you're able to do all of your business on the road. If you need to upload photos to the internet, if you need to edit documents and download, it doesn't matter what it is. With Starlink, you're going to be able to access Wi-Fi wherever you're at. It's a great system. Our engineers have taken one of our units out and tested it. They spent a week out in the sticks, and they were thoroughly impressed with the speed of that. One of our units, it was a husband and a wife and 3 of the kids, and then a mother-in-law. They had 4 devices streaming at one time. They said there was no lag. Absolutely incredible. So I think you're going to be impressed with that Starlink. As I mentioned, it is standard. On the roof, we also have 200 watts of solar. That is going to essentially be a trickle charger for this massive lithium battery. It is expandable by the side port on the side of this unit, which I'll show you in a moment. But then also we do have a 10-watt panel up there as well, and that's going to be able to be a trickle charger for your chassis battery as well. So that is on the roof. A 48-volt AC system. What does that mean to you? It means incredible efficiency. A lot of our competition will use 120-volt AC air conditioner, and that will have to be run through an inverter, and so that's very inefficient. You are losing a lot of battery power running through the inverter. This is a 48-volt AC, DC to AC, or air conditioner, 48-volt DC air conditioner to a 48-volt battery system. So there is no loss of power because we're not having to invert that. It is the most efficient in the market today, and so that's on your roof as well. As we come around to the side, you will see our side solar port. The solar port, Renergy, our battery company, they do make a 400-watt panel, collapsible panel, a briefcase style that you will be able to plug into there. You could use a 300-watt. You can use anything you want. I would say you are maxing out at about those 400 watts. So the 400 on the side, 200 on the roof, you're at 600 watts of power at that point. We carried our partial pane over to this side. This is a city water fill. That way you don't have to have your rear doors open in order to, if you are at the campsite, to be able to have direct plumbing in. We added that midway through last model year. That was a necessary must for us. This does have a cassette toilet. This will be where you unlock it and then bring out your cassette to dump it, as well as a nice LED light overhead, so if you are in the dark, you'll be able to see everything around. Your dump valve for your gray water tank is down below. And that is pretty much it on the exterior of this. One thing I do want to show you, if we can walk around to the front as well, we do give you that roof rack, as I already mentioned. Cool thing about this roof rack is we have put just a massive LED light bar up in that roof rack. Right below it, we have etched in the word Entegra, but that light bar is for when you are out in those BLM areas or potentially national parks and you are coming in late, nobody's around, you want to be able to see. Designed for off-road use. Don't think you're going to drive down the road and use that. You'll get a ticket. That is strictly for off-road use. That's why I mentioned the BLM areas, or maybe even on your own property. So we don't want you to not have the light you need to be able to see. This all-wheel drive chassis will get you through most predicaments. Coupled with that light, absolutely incredible. Let's go inside the coach and I'll show you some of the other new things. Alrighty, we are inside of the 19Y Entegra Coach Launch. This has been an incredible seller for us, as I've already communicated to you. And part of the appeal is just this incredible Mercedes chassis. I love driving this chassis. I'm a taller individual, I'm about 6'3", and I can tell you, as I sit in the driver's seat, that cockpit feels very spacious to me. Some of the other B-Van chassis, I do feel a little bit cramped, but this Mercedes-Benz chassis is absolutely incredible. From Mercedes, they do give you this massive infotainment system, the MBUX system. With that, that's where you'll see your 360-degree view around your van as you're putting it in reverse. That is a great feature that they have added and installed. Both of these seats do swivel around. It is the Mercedes leather on this, and then they are power adjustable, forward, backwards. They do lumbar as well, if I recall. Don't quote me on that, pretty sure though. But an incredible chassis, very comfortable. Overhead here, they have provided us with a great storage area. What am I going to store up there? Right now, currently, we have our adjustable table that goes on the adjustable table mount down below. Nice thing about that is I can stick as much up there as I want to, store it away, get it out of the way. I'm going to keep my sunscreen up there as well. That's going to block out both the sun from the cab as well as give me more privacy while I'm on the inside of this coach. Great thing about this coach is it's very thought out. It is a smaller coach, to be honest. As you can see, my head's ducked a little bit. You're right up here on me. Smaller coach, but very well thought out. We do have seat belts for 4 individuals in this coach. We have our 2 cab seats. We have 2 captain seats behind. Unlike some of our competition, they'll give you a bench seat back here. We actually give you 2 very comfortable, really captain's chairs, I would say. Great thing about this is is that this outside seat is adjustable. I can slide it forward. I can slide it out. And as I slide it out, I do get more space from the person beside me. So if we've got Johnny and Sue sitting side by side, they don't really want to touch each other, they're hot and sticky, or maybe they're just 5 and 6 years old, you can adjust the seat however you want, and there's a lot of room in this. Also up front here, we do have a power vented window beside these two rear captain seats. That's nice because it's not really awkward. Sometimes you have levers to pull down, and while you're pulling that lever, you kind of have to push out and move. With this, it's just a simple touch button, and so that will slide open, slide close as well. I do have a day and night shade. That day shade does function as a bug screen as well, so very convenient there. One of the things we did do for this current model year is we did move our Renogy battery screen outside from the cabinet. Last year we stuck it inside of this overhead cabinet. We recognize that really that is the Bible of your battery system. So we wanted to have that on the outside in a very viewable space. And so that's right below your Firefly system. This unit does have and always has had a Timberline heating system in it. It is hydronic. It draws fuel from your chassis. Great thing about the Timberline system is that it provides both heat and hot water for this coach, and it is pulling from diesel. So it's very efficient. Anytime you fill up your chassis, you are in a sense refilling your furnace and your hot water fuel as well. So great to offer that. This coach as well, as I mentioned, Starlink is now standard. The Starlink power supply as well as the router is behind these two captain seats, and so we've tucked that away out of the way. We've already placed it for you. There's no reason to do it aftermarket. We've already done it. We know aftermarket can be a headache. Cool thing about this small space, as I said, we've tried to think through everything. We partnered with an Italian cabinet manufacturer to put this whole interior together. You're going to notice that we do have a nice countertop here, a large size sink for such a small unit. Great thing about this is it just doesn't stop here. I can bring this countertop extension out, and it does go up, and it becomes, like I said, an extension. And so out here on this, I can have a crock pot, I can have the coffee maker, I can have anything, and it's very conveniently accessible. You just bring it down, and it slides back in. Right below it, I do have a 12-volt refrigerator, adequate size for this size of coach. And then you're going to see in the kitchen area, there is just a bank of drawers, plenty of drawers for you in this area. Now you're going to notice that this coach does not have a cooktop here, and so you're wondering, how do I make my food? There's not a microwave. We do give you a portable induction cooktop. Great thing about that is I can set it here, I can set it on my extension, or I can even set it on that outside table that I showed you earlier. That way you can cook outside if the weather's nice, or you can bring it inside if it is inclement weather at that point. As we show you the bathroom, you will see that the wet bath is very spacious for this size of a coach. There is a bamboo rack on the inside to be able to, it is a shelf, you'll be able to dry towels on it, dry clothes on it, just do absolutely anything you want in there, as well as I mentioned that cassette toilet. Great thing about the cassette toilet is you don't have to worry about a black tank. That cassette toilet is self-contained, and you can just pull it out, dump it at the RV park, dump it at a rest stop. You're good to go, you're golden to keep going. Overhead cabinets, we do have overhead cabinets. Nice thing about these overhead cabinets is we have put carpeting felt on the inside, both on the bottom and on the back. I say that is significant because it does help with rattling. Last thing you want to do while you're going down the road is experience a bunch of rattling. As you saw, these are latched as well. All of our overhead doors and our drawers are latched. Some of our competitors won't give you latches. They'll rely on spring-loaded hinges or potentially struts to keep those closed, but we do know that these are prone to open up, so thus we put latches on them. You will see in the rear of the coach there is an overhead bed, very convenient. That bed will hold 750 pounds while it's static. Traveling, it will not lift and lower 750 pounds. I believe that weight is around 175 pounds as far as in travel, but fixed it is 750 pounds. You'll notice that there is room for an individual my height to be able to lay across in it because we do put the pods on the side, the fiberglass flares to give you extra room back there. Very convenient going down, very convenient going up. Below the bed there is a nice garage area with diamond tread linoleum down below, diamond tread rubber. With that we do have tracks down below that you can tie down your cargo. Nice thing about this garage area is it's just multi-use. You can have your bed up, you can store mountain bikes in here, you can store large crates in here, but then also when it's in the down position, there's still a lot of room down below. Whether you are traveling with a dog, there is room enough down there for a crate. You can keep your valuables, your storage totes inside. So there's a lot of room inside this. Folks love the garage as well as that elevated bed that is power down and power up. As I mentioned, this coach does have a 48-volt air conditioner, extremely efficient. Our air conditioner pulls about 900 watts of power per hour. As I mentioned, this is a 10,000 watt-hour lithium system. From that, 9,000 watt-hours are usable. 900 watts from your air conditioner, 9,000 watts of usable power. You've got about 10 hours of power on this battery system, where our competition, as I said, if they're using a 120-volt air conditioner, they are running it through an inverter. That's pulling about 1,500 watts an hour compared to our 900 watts. So that's why I say ours is extremely efficient. But as I mentioned, we are extremely excited about this model year 2024 Entegra Coach Launch. If you have any questions, I'd encourage you to contact your local dealer. If you wonder who your local dealer is, on our website there is a dealer locator. They would love to answer any questions you have about this coach. If you have more technical ones, feel free to call us here at Entegra Coach, and we will put you in touch with our regional sales manager who's responsible for your territory where you live, and they would love to answer any questions you have. Again, my name is Cory Weatherton, Director of Product Development here at Entegra Coach. Thanks for watching this video today, and make sure you get to your Entegra Coach dealer and check out the 2024 Entegra Coach Launch.